Okay. I'm so sorry. I don't think you could hear me before. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so here. I've just been talking and da 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 da. And happy Halloween, everyone. We're just giving you a little trick or treat to get you going. I'm so glad you are all with us today. I do not know what happened there. Zoom messed with me a little bit this morning. Thank you all so much for getting in that chat. I love it. I see we got another Buckeye in the house. We have North Carolina, Atlanta, New Mexico. I think we have almost every state represented. So I am so thrilled. And some of you are just rolling in, so you have no idea about our little technical glitch. So that's phenomenal. Over 100 people live, over 600 registered. Your time is so valuable, and you have made the right choice in joining us this morning. We have the most phenomenal speaker who is going to motivate you and give you all of the tools that you need to really transform your business and get more transactions and referrals and leads and everything. He's going to just really help you out. I'm so thrilled Nick is joining us. What I'd like to do is I am Elizabeth Canaru, Director of Marketing and Engagement for the top level domains at NAR. Those top level domains are .realtor and .real estate. And we are so excited to be sponsoring this webinar today. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through a really quick PowerPoint presentation just to let you know about the benefits you have if you're an NAR member. And the .real estate domain that's open for everyone if you're not an NAR member yet. And so I'm going to take 3 minutes, and then I'm going to introduce our fantastic speaker, turn the platform over to him, and let him get started. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, and let's get the party started. Okay. Can you all, hopefully, all of our technical glitches are behind us and you can see my screen. I just want to let you know about a phenomenal benefit you have if you're a member of NAR. That is that you get a free .realtor custom domain. So ditch that .com, leave it in the dust. .coms are common, outdated. Let the world know exactly who you are and what you do in an instant by utilizing a .realtor domain. And what's even better is that they all now come with a free professional website that is included free for the life of your domain. And this works for .real estate as well. No matter which domain you pick, .realtor or .real estate, you get a free website. So I just want to show you here real quickly how your business card can be elevated, how you can elevate those marketing materials when you utilize that .realtor. It's just going to set you apart from the competition, and it's going to connect you to the realtor brand. It's also a personal investment on yourself. So that you can have one consistent place that you can always be found, no matter which brokerage you hang your hat on. And what's more important than ever, over 90% of people go to the internet when they start looking for a home sale or purchase process. Can you be found? Can you be found at the top? Do you have a strong online brand? Are you going to reel people in and make them want to choose you? And with these websites, we've had them live for almost 2 years, and the case studies are pouring in. We just had a .real estate user say she's had 4 transactions because of this website in 2 months. So it's a wonderful marketing tool that's available to you. The .realtor, like I said, is free for the year and only $39.95 a year after. And I point that out to show you it's such an affordable price point to have an online presence and brand. But what's even better is that we've made the websites easy and fast. You're out selling. You don't want to be behind a computer. You don't want to be dealing with tech. You want to be out and about doing your business. So we've taken the work out of the websites. They come turnkey and custom to you, preloaded with your information. All you have to do is get in there and scan it, or say, you know what, I really want to put my own brand and my own spin on it. Add your own photos, change the colors, add the font, change the text, whatever you want. But it's fast and it's easy, and most importantly, free. It has lead gen built in. It connects to your social media. It's going to get you found online. Customer testimonials built in. It's just really a beautiful online commercial for yourself. And what doesn't matter what I think, of course, I love them, but Valnick Cole says it was quick and easy to set up, ready to use. We also, if you're a commercial agent, maybe you prefer a Spanish template, we have different website options for whatever your business are. We even have a home builder template. So association, firm, everything. So you can go in and really choose which website is going to benefit your business the most. And then we also have premium websites. The premium websites include blog and video. You can bring in IDX, or you can choose to upgrade to our IDX website. Whatever your business needs are, we are going to have the best website option at the most affordable price point in the market, because we want to come alongside you and help your business grow. So if you're interested in anything I said, I will put the link to the website in the chat, but we are get.realtor, www.get.realtor, super easy and fast. So go in and benefit your business in that way. But I know what you're here for. You're here for the main event. So let me introduce Nick Libert. He has over 25 years of experience in the Chicagoland area. He's been on House Hunters. He's had a show on the Travel Channel. He is an owner and operator of an Exit franchise that just won the #1 most productive franchise in North America. So you have tuned in to the right place to hear the right speaker. So without further ado, Nick, I'm going to pass it off to you. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I hope it will be a productive hour for everybody. And I actually learned something right away from Elizabeth, so I'm hoping to pass on some knowledge too. But I didn't realize there's some free websites out there from Realtor.com. So pretty cool stuff. Free 99 is my favorite price right now, and I think that a lot of you all will agree that it is a very interesting time in the market. And so I'm going to share some things today. I'm going to hopefully be very transparent about some things that I've done wrong in my business. As Elizabeth mentioned, I've been in the business for 25 years. I own and operate EXIT Realty's #1 most productive franchise in transactions as of last week at our company's convention. So I have a lot of experience coaching agents, and I am an active agent still. So that's something I think that's important. I'm out in the field with you. I'm seeing the same struggles that you guys are. And the Chicago market is no different than probably your market. Maybe in terms of the transaction costs, I've seen some friends from California that their average price point is double what ours are. And I have friends in small towns like where I'm originally from in Indiana that the price point is half of what it is in Chicago. But we know right now there's a couple things going on. So I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. And I want to, first off, kind of start from who am I and what am I struggling with right now in the market? Like almost all of the rest of you, I had a big slump last year. I had a really great, in the 3 months, July to September 2021, 5.6 million. It was part of a $21 or $22 million total year. So almost $2 million a month. That had more than I had ever sold before then. I was typically a 10 to 12, maybe a $14 million producer. Getting over that 20 million hump was a big deal for me. That incredible low interest rate, that record low, probably not sustainably low, definitely not sustainably low interest rate situation we were in 2020, 21, and into 2022 propelled that. And so if you're like me and you've been around a while and you ate really good in 2018, 2019, especially 2020, 2021, into 2022, you've got to realize that was not sustainable. And what we have also known is at the same time, we were not prepared for the downward slump because we did not do the prospecting we used to do because it was so busy. And so when I slumped, my numbers went down for the next quarter, that July to September 2022, they went down 76%. So I went down even further than most people in the market because I had stopped doing any prospecting whatsoever. Even though I was still coaching agents on how to do it, I had stopped doing it myself. I was actually planning on exiting the sales side of the business because it had been such a good couple of years. And guess what? That now is not possible. So what I want you to do is first, this is Broker Metrics. I'm sorry, no, this is Market View Broker. It's a product of Showing Time that you will hopefully have some sort of internal data from your company or from your coach that looks like this, that tells you what you're doing by quarter, by year, so you can figure out where the heck you even are to start. Because I think a lot of people are so discouraged by what was going on. They are kind of in a head in the sand mindset. And that is why today's slides are called don't be a zombie agent. It is Halloween. I've got my screen down at home because I don't want you to see the snow in the background because I'm kind of sad about it, but I've at least got a Halloween themed shirt on for you today. But the point is here, my numbers went down probably even worse than most of yours. I was very discouraged by that. I was actually, I would say, depressed by that. But then I came back. If you look at my numbers for this year, they're way up. They're actually almost back up to where they were in that almost unreasonable time of 2021. I don't think that's sustainable even, but you've got to know, is your average price point going up or down? It shouldn't be going down because the prices in most of our markets are stable or even still trickling up a little bit. Is your market time going down? Well, it darn well should be, because your average market time as a listing agent has been going down. What's going on in your business, in your numbers? If you are still in a slump, and you can see where my cursor is here, if you are still in a slump going down and you haven't come back up yet, you've got a real problem. We've got to start addressing that problem. And that's why I wanted to get in front of you today with my own numbers to say, hey, I was that zombie agent worse than some of you, and I turned it around. Can you turn it around this year? So let's dive into these slides and what I believe will be a hopefully very productive time together. So I want you to think today about moving towards a superhero mindset and business practices for, you know what, we've only got 60 days left in 2023. It is beyond the rest of the year. The actions we take today will be reflected in the first quarter of 2024. I'm going to have some links up towards the end, a text message code for you. And I said in this in the chat earlier, go ahead and add me on social media, especially Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, because I do a lot of posting there. And I'm going to have an upcoming training session on business plans. If you don't already have your business plan done for 2024, we've got an issue. And the reason why we have an issue is, that the actions you take today will be something that starts to work in your pipeline 90 days from today. If you don't get that business plan done and in action today, or in the next couple of weeks at the very latest, and take these corrective steps, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a really difficult time overcoming that slump in 2024. Because here's what we know. The issues currently present, I'm going to move our faces here a little bit. The issues currently present are two, and you will probably already know this, right? Interest and inventory. Interest rates are now at 26-year highs. They've not been this high since I was new in the business in 1998. And I think right now they're actually saying 1996. So this is an interest rate situation. It is also an interest level situation, because obviously when the interest rates have gone up after being at historic lows all the way back to 2009, 10, 11, when they started dropping. And they stayed that way. I actually did a class in 2019 saying, I think these interest rates are going to go up. We didn't know the pandemic was going to actually take them down even further first, but we knew they were at unsustainable historic lows. But here's what's very concerning about this. And also, obviously, that situation has created this crippling interest or inventory problem. Look at these numbers. Now, I screenshotted these directly from NAR. So NAR Research, if you're already on social media, going to add me on Instagram, you can do one other ad real quick, I think. NAR Research, all one word, NAR Research. So NAR Research. That little bunch of statistics, what the media is reporting is month over month. They're saying month over month, oh, sales went down 1.5%. Sales went down 1.5%. Well, month over month, that doesn't feel like month. Here's like much. Here's the reason why I'm saying you have 50% less business. Add up the number from September 2022, where it says year over year, sales were down 23.8% versus September 2022. That's 23.8% your business on average went down. Then go to the next one, September 2023. This is the newest stat. And it's down 15.4%. Well, what do those two add up? That's 45%, right? That's actually 48%. That's almost 50%. So you've got a big situation, and in some markets, it's even more pronounced. And if you were like me and sat on your rear end going, well, it's going to be better soon, you went down even further. And then you got depressed. And then you started to make some marketing decisions. You know, our favorite price we said earlier was free 99. We made some marketing decisions that have impacted our business. So if you're still in that slump going down, your business may be more than 50% down. And we've got to pull you out of that slump. If you're doing great and you're outpacing the market, I'm lucky enough to coach some agents that they did what I told them instead of what I did. You know, the famous adage, do as I say, not what I do. They did it, and they're also just on an upward trajectory because they're so excited about certain things going on in their business or in the market that they found a niche. But we know that this current situation is not going to change anytime soon. I had a class last year that I said, I think this may be a 12 to 18 month situation. It is 12 months later with no change in sight. If you don't change your business, you may be out of the business. And I don't want to be fatalistic or negative. You just have to realize these are the facts and these are the numbers right in front of you from NAR. So what do we have to do? Knowing that this is a cycle that probably could last 2 years or more. You know, the interest rates are not going to go down anytime soon dramatically. The inventory is not going to go up anytime soon dramatically. And we're going to talk on the next slide I have for you why. Another reason is that I'm saying that you've got to go 50% wider and 50% deeper. And so that 50% deeper is going to be with your Mets. You've got to be more intensely intimate and involved and engaged with them than ever before. And you've got to go 50% wider, because what do we know about our Mets, our database, our existing folks? A lot of them already bought through us. They're not looking at buying again right now because they're sitting on that great interest rate in that current home. And so many people moved during that era of, hey, I've been sitting at home in COVID. I need a bigger place. I want a better place. These interest rates are great. I'm just going to do it. A lot of your existing database is not the people that are going to make moves. Now, that's a generalization, which is dangerous. We're not going to throw away that existing database, but we have to go 50% wider into habit Mets. And I'm going to give you some tools for that in a moment. So why are we saying that our heads are in the sand, a lot of us? Well, look at this slide below you. This is another brand new stat just out. What have we been saying, some of us? Well, you know what? The interest rates can't stay low that long, or I'm sure the government will come up with a program like 2009. If you guys were around in 2009, you remember there was that tax credit you got. It was a temporary one, but you got a tax credit. If you bought that year, that kind of burst a little bit of activity in the market. But what really fueled that market? Sadly enough, foreclosures, short sales first, then foreclosures first, then short sales. The price drops, the massive price drops, the big delinquencies, that is what drove that market and caused some of us to be able to survive in that market. The roof that's over my head, I bought in that market. It was the only thing I could afford to buy, and it took me years to save up for it, but I got it. And the reason why I got it was prices had gone down so much. If you're waiting for the prices to go down, or if your clients are waiting for the prices to go down, look at this chart. This is just from January 2022 into August of this year. These are brand new stats. Serious delinquencies are on the decline, not the increase. So I don't know where some people are getting their numbers, but it's not going to be a market where we see foreclosures and short sales. Why is that? Prices have actually trickled up because of the lack of inventory. The broader economy is much stronger than our economy as realtors. So what are the 4 mindsets? We're going to talk a lot today about mindsets. What are the 4 mindsets I'm seeing? Number 1 is the zombie. This is the most serious one. You're just dead out there. Your head's in the sand. You are ignoring the market. You know, if your income is down 35 to 50%, because yes, the prices are stable, but the number of units sold at those stable prices is down by almost 50%. We just saw those slides. Did you cut your expenses by 50%? Most of us can't. It's just not possible unless we're selling our house or moving somewhere else. You're just not going to do that. You need to cut expenses, but that is not enough to survive. And I want my agents to thrive. So the zombie, they're just dead. We got to wake you up, because if you're in that mindset, you've stopped prospecting and you've been so far, so long out of the right mindset because you were so busy in 2020, 21, 22, the first half of it, servicing those clients that were simply just overwhelming you with, I've got to see this property now. I've got to be in these multiple bid situations. You put something on the market and there were 10 offers on it. It was overwhelming. We stopped prospecting, a lot of us. The second mindset is a cowboy. You're aware of the tools that are out there. You're aware of the situation. I'm going to do something, but I'm going to do it on my own. I'm probably going to try to just work harder, which is part of this. They're going to work harder, but they're going to do it on their, I know what to do. I don't need to go back to school in terms of training. I don't need to go into the office. I don't need to mastermind with other agents. I don't need to be in an accountability group. I'm just going to do this on my own. Well, at least they're woken up to this situation. They're not a zombie, but they're not going to tap into a mastermind or resources or working smarter, because at the end of the day, the opportunity in this market is to actually come out of it stronger. I've said this to a lot of my agents the past 2 or 3 months. I've said, I've kind of not only woken up, but I'm excited because I realize if we can survive this time and you've got this extra time to build the systems either up or back up, for me, back up. My database was entirely built the way it was structured during the crash, the great crash, the great recession, because I had nothing else to do. My social media that has gotten me so much business over the years was built in 2009, 10, and 11 when I had less to do. So what can you do to truly start building up these systems? That's not a cowboy mindset. That's going to be more the superhero. The villain's going to kind of keep everything to themselves as well. They're very transactional. They're going to use the tools, but they're going to do it just to get ahead. And it's really the kind of person that in your office isn't going to share with you. And I only even bring that mindset up because if I'm telling you, hey, let's mastermind together, and you've got somebody that keeps everything so close to their chest, they won't share a script, they don't want to interact with you, in terms of what you're doing. They don't want to add you on social media because, well, I don't care about other agents and I don't want to know need to know them. That's the type of person you're going to say, well, that's not going to be somebody I mastermind with. They're just very transactional. The superhero agent is the ones you want to find in your office or in your local market, maybe part of your local association or some of the great groups out there like WCR, YPN. The superheroes they're going to use the tools for the greater good. They're going to educate clients. They're going to educate other realtors. They're going to be out there sharing some of the stuff I show you later. They're going to be sharing these numbers, but in a way that doesn't promote fear. And I have really not enjoyed some of the things I've seen on social media in this moment when we all know our business is tough. Us and loan officers have it toughest. And these people are fear mongering. I hate that. So look for the superheroes. Well, what is it going to look like for you in terms of your database? Because this is really where I want to start with you. The solution to all of this, and I don't want to oversimplify it because there's a lot of slides here, but I want to focus on the database. And what I call it is relationship orbits. I have a lot of funny little sayings, at least my office thinks they're funny, or probably I say them too much. One of which is relationship orbits. Think of it like, we're all in a solar system together, or I used to call it relationship webs, but I'm like, well, I don't want to be a spider. What are you going to do to master your database and your CRM? If you're living out of an Excel spreadsheet still, we need to get together. If you're in a CRM and you say, well, I've got a great database. I've got my CRM, on lock. Do you really? If you're not in your CRM every day, if you're not truly utilizing it to not just send out a monthly e-newsletter, but to work it to the next level, this is where we've got to start. And so I really want to focus on, for everybody that's on here right now, if you are having struggles with your CRM, get with the CRM company, the one that I use. It's called Wise Agent. I do a lot of training on it. They've got 24-hour-a-day support. I need them sometimes. Get with your CRM company, get with your coach. Hopefully the coaching program that you're in through your company or through a coaching program has a CRM or recommends one. And again, I can talk all day about my CRM and CRMs in general, but a database is vital, because you're not, just because you've got people in the database or that you're getting leads in the door, you've got to cultivate them to convert them. I hear so often, well, these leads aren't good, about a lead program, or about, whether you buy leads or you're on a referral program or an e-team, like I've got set up at my office for my agents. If you're not cultivating those leads or all your contacts in general, you're not going to convert them. That is a multi-step process. I'm going to walk you through some of that stuff in a little bit here. But if you're not building relationships, if you're transactional and you're not even doing the follow through to build a transaction, but especially if you're not a relationship oriented agent, it's going to be really tough in the long run for you to build a business that's worth owning and having a higher probability of these leads coming to close. Because what do we know right now? So many fewer people are buying that every lead it's got to be worth double what it used to be. It has to convert at 50% higher or even better than that rate than before. Well, if that means you only followed up once, I tell my agents follow up 7 times. 7 times. We're going to go into something called red light, yellow light, green light here in a little bit. That helps you walk through that process. The other thing that I find is that if you are not a relationship-based agent, you're not getting enough referrals. You are not getting enough referrals. And especially in a market like this, where you may have cut back on spending in your business, be careful with saying, okay, well, I can't spend any money. If you're closing some deals, put some of that money back in your business, but really look at every single thing you spend money on. I have a separate credit card for my expenses as an agent. And I go and I look at that every month and I'm like, what on here is making me money and what isn't? And I have cut out some things too. But if you're cutting back on your spending on the places that were making you money, what's going to happen with your referrals though? Are you building relationships? And so what is a relationship orbit? It is a systematized way to bring value to contacts across a variety of mediums. The monthly e-newsletter, if you're not even getting that out, that's very troubling to me, but that should be an absolute baseline of touch. A lot of my clients, they started out as a lead from an online source or a referral from a friend, but it may have not gone any farther than that until I added them on my social media. People buy into you based on what you give to them. But when they don't have a relationship with you yet, they are going to build more of a connection to you when you are on something like LinkedIn and regularly posting content to that social media. So that really brings your world and passions to life. I find that to be a really important connection. I've got a product that I use that helps me post some stuff, but it's also got to be your own natural content. I could have an all-day class on social media. I won't do that to you guys today. However, if you see my social media, feel free to take some of that and make it even better on your own. I do really good with every single lead that comes through to me, which at this point is mostly referral based, but I have been that e-team member. I've been on those tough to convert leads, and it's always done better when I got them to connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram. They just got a flavor for me and they bought in. But that can't be it. Are you text messaging your database? If you don't have a tool for mass texting, think about it now. How many real life vendors, big marketing companies, big businesses are out there adding you to their text messaging? So that is something that if people have unsubscribed to your e-newsletter or it goes in their spam folder, what I do is I have an e-newsletter that goes out with my event of the month. We call them leveraged events at my office. Then I turn around and I hit them up with a follow-up through my CRM. Most of the good CRMs now do mass texting, and I can hit 250 people at once. through that marketing and events hotline, I call it. And I say, hey, just remember, this is, it was in your monthly e-newsletter, but I wanted to get this out there to you directly by text. Here's my event of the month. And it's a variety of focuses. 1 month is health and wellness. Next month, maybe it's charity and community. What a great time to do a coat drive or something this fall. And, it's the holiday season. You don't necessarily have to always have everything be about real estate. We do personal finance classes. Obviously, we do real estate seminars, but we mix it up and then we make sure it gets into their hands because it's in this kind of my social media wheel of life. Everything with my social media and my e-newsletter and my text messaging all wraps up into one, cohesive message. And it's items of value. It's not buy with me, sell with me. That is such a tired conversation. And right now, a lot of people don't want to hear it. But you're going to need to build these relationships because what's going to happen? What if I'm wrong? And next year, I hope I'm wrong. Next year, the interest rates go down 1.5%. You know darn well what's going to happen. People are going to run out and do exactly what they did in 2020, 2021, and the first 4 months of 2022. They're going to buy their faces off with everything that they've been waiting and holding back on. And if you don't have these relationships built up now, that's why I'm like, wake up zombies. If you don't have these relationships built up now, you will miss out. Myself and my agents and the agents that are being properly coached in these different coaching programs that are saying this is an opportune time to build the relationships because we are slower. And if you're the 1 or 2 people on here that are there, your business is up this year and everything is great, bless you. I'm proud of you. But for the rest of us, we have the opportunity to build this foundation on the back end while we're slower. Do not lose out that opportunity because if the money's down right now, you've just got to hold on knowing that it's going to come back. And if it comes back quicker and I'm wrong, fantastic. If it takes longer, you're going to do that work and you're also going to work harder as well as smarter. And you're going to come back bigger and better than ever. And in the meantime, you can hold on. So these direct invitations to monthly events, the mass texting, I love video. Oh man, I love video. Shorts. I don't do enough of them. I'm going to do more of them. I'm committing to that. Also, you have the gift of RPR, which we'll talk extensively about later. What a gift we have from NAR. That is probably my favorite thing about NAR right now is RPR, Realtors Property Resource. Huge asset for everybody out there. One thing that I've noticed the past couple of years in our business is we used to do a lot of direct mail, not just direct mail to people, but to our own individual clients. I'm actually looking right here in my desk drawer and I've got these cool little, everything's just in one, stickers, thank you notes. I keep them in my desk drawer because every day, what should you be doing? At least 2 to 3, not direct mail to a farm area, because that's important too, but you may have cut that out of your business. I hope you haven't. We'll talk about ways to get around that cost, but you need to be connecting to your own database of people on a personal level. When was the last time you got a personal birthday card? I have started them up again because I've got that time to do so. People love that. Birthday cards, housing anniversaries, just a nice personal note, a handwritten personal note to their home address. What does that mean you have to have, guys? Their home address. What a great time to say, hey, wanted to make sure you're still at 123 Robin Hood Lane or whatever the address is. If you don't have their information already, that should be right in your phone. It should be right in your CRM and in your phone. The birthday mail campaign, what a great way. How do you find it out? Well, it's on their Facebook, if you're on their Facebook, but it really is on their LinkedIn. It's on their LinkedIn. If you connect with people on LinkedIn, what's the least likely platform they're going to lie on? The one where they're getting job offers and recruited for new job opportunities, or they are the recruiter building their company up. So LinkedIn, I love because the cell phone number is normally right. The email is normally accurate. And when they have a job change, wouldn't that be a nice personal note? Congratulations. Or sometimes when there's a job shift, do you need any help? Can I get your resume out for you? Building these relationships now in a personal manner will be huge for you later. Another thing is once you've got that mailing address, I'm doing and again, I didn't do this for years because I got busy, right? Busy. Evidence of success, an EOS. What is that? I'm closing deals in this market. I have people asking some of my agents, now they're not asking me this because they see I'm still posting actively, but some of my agents that have stopped posting or they're a little slower right now, hey, are you still in the business? How is the business? You got to show them what's going on. Don't lie, but get a good testimonial or two, post it out there, accumulate them. If you're even doing a couple deals a quarter, that's something to talk about. We're nearing the end of the year, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a holiday message, but a letter of the heart, thanking people for, what went on this year, maybe overcoming a struggle in the past year. You've had a health challenge, you've had something good or bad go on in your family you want to share. I love that as an end of the year letter. And that one can be a little bit less personal, but you sign your name at the bottom, even though it's printed, you handwrite the envelopes, and you get that stuff out there to your database. Do you even have everyone's home address? Is it accurate? And by the way, if you get into a real time crunch, you should be able to press one button on your CRM and get that out there. Your phone should sync up to your CRM. I've got a video on YouTube I can send to you guys. We'll talk about, different videos I've got out there to help you at the end. Your CRM should sync up to your phone through Google Contacts, bar none. If that sync is not working, get it to work. I also believe that every past client should get a housing anniversary gift. Maybe that's not a big gift, but Starbucks gift cards can be a nice touch and cheap, whatever your budget is. A regular CMA. The CRM I use connects to Cloud CMA. Yours may connect somewhere else. Guess what is a free CMA product that's beautiful, and it's almost down to one touch as far as I'm concerned, RPR. So let's talk about who should be in your orbit. This is where I want you to think about, are your people categorized right? Because what do we know? If you're in the same CRM product that I'm in, you can send 250 texts at once, but that still means you can't blast the whole database at once unless your database is only 250 people, and I'd be alarmed if it is. You need to have people intelligently grouped. So if you've got, for example, this summer I had some Cubs tickets to give away. I was able to shoot that out specifically to past clients, current clients, and my VIPs. And that is, what is a VIP? Those are non-clients who are referring you business. So think about that. Do you have non-clients referring you business? You better, you should. Those are people like your dentist, your accountant, your eye doctor, that they're in your neighborhood, or that they're in your, maybe they're just in your database, but you're using them for a service. Are they giving you business? That should be a portion of your database. Do you have family members that they're not using you as their agent because they don't need a house right now? Maybe they're never going to buy a house. Do you have an agent in another area that sends you business? That's going back to that thought of, well, there's cowboy agents and there's villain agents. A superhero agent, they're out there sharing what's working for them. They're talking out there in the real world, and they're building up what? Agent to agent referrals. I always like things that are, maybe you got to pay a referral fee, but it's on the back end. That's safe in any market because the cost is the conversion, not the upfront charge. So VIPs are a huge portion of my business because I have people out there that send me business. Some of them don't even use me as their agent. They've got a family member they use, or they've got a, friend that they've got, the friend of 20 years. Okay, fine. But they're like, honestly, I don't want to use them for everything. I'm going to give you this business. I'm going to send this your way. That is, I always try to say I'm second in line. If I'm not first in mind, then I want to be second in line for when that agent screws up, retires, or leaves the business. And maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just that positioning of, you are going to be out there as an agent that is so friendly and so resourceful that I have people that send me their friends, send me their clients in their business, but they have a friend in the business that they use for their own stuff. Fine. But because I didn't get rude and I treated them as a VIP, they turned around and gave me business. So non-clients who are or can significantly refer business. Farming campaigns, please don't give those up. If you have the ability to farm, which all of us do, you should be farming. Just sold is one of the easiest things out there because it's showing what? Evidence of success, proof of success, your promise in their neighborhood. but also in general, geographic farm. If you're not farming your own neighborhood, I don't understand why some people don't do that. Is that, oh, well, my price, my neighborhood is dominated by this agent. Well, it's dominated by that agent because that agent put in the work. Or, well, my neighbor doesn't have that high of a price point. Okay, so you're going to run into the neighborhood with the rich folks that everybody's trying to get the business in. No, do your own neighborhood first. Out of sight, out of mind, in sight, in mind. If you're in there in the grocery store, I've got my exit tote bag, I got my X badge on. I've been doing this a long time. It does not bother me to remind people that I'm in the business. And especially if you are doing either direct mail farming or digital farming, I got classes on that for you online. It pays to be visible in the same area. And the easiest area to do that is in the area you live. And if you can't afford a direct mail campaign right now, you can go door to door, bundle up. It's cold outside, like snowing in my neighborhood, but you can go door to door. You can mail them one a day. What can you do to save $3 a day and, buy these forever stamps like I got hidden in my drawer in here? Don't go to Starbucks. Don't, take one thing off your plate so you can do that type of stuff. And if you can find email addresses, which there's ways to do that. If you can find email addresses for folks, wouldn't it be great if you had another way to get a hold of them? You have their name because it's in RPR. You have their name because it's in RPR. You could go into LinkedIn, might take you a little bit of time, go into LinkedIn and connect with them there and see what other information you can find about them. If you've got RPR, you've got their mailing address, you've got their name, you may get a little bit more information. So think about that. Talked about referral agents. There may be more agents getting out of the business. We hope, it's not you or not me, but we know that's going to happen. And we're sad about it as an industry. However, some of these folks that are zombie agents probably will not make it. And if not, are you talking to them to make sure that their database is going to maybe be your database? Will they give it to you? Will they create a referral relationship with you? What's going to go on? And some people are just retiring or moving. I have an agent that moved to another area, wasn't even at my company, but he told all his clients to work with me. And I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I was kind of shocked, but I built that relationship up with him over the years. I try to be a superhero agent, definitely not a villain agent where I'm not sharing. These people that get out of the business or move or just change their direction, are you in relationship with them? That's a relationship. And again, LinkedIn contacts. We're going to talk a little bit more about LinkedIn in a second. Massive source of information. So let's talk about working smarter and harder. Let's make it easier first. All good CRMs now should include birthday campaigns, lead enhancement. What is lead enhancement? I want that little CRM to tell me if they've got a LinkedIn. Maybe they can find the LinkedIn or a Twitter or something else. I don't really use Twitter very much, but lead enhancement is huge. Birthday campaigns. Can it automate some of this stuff? Even though I love doing video, I can do a whole series with you on video. Video is huge right now. And I've got a product for that I can talk about that I use. But if you don't like doing videos of yourself, do a screen recording. You can do a screen recording. AI bot. Does that CRM have an AI bot? Some way that there's some maybe automated follow-up to the leads. We have the blessing at EXIT Strategy Realty to have another amazing coach under our roof, and that is Marky Lemons-Ryall. Some of you may know Marky. Great national trainer at brand agnostic. She does hold her license with us. Just really fascinating coach, and she's doing so much in the AI space. Well, guess what? Those AI bots can really help you in your business if you've got them set up. We talked about Google Sync, a calendar sync, and a Chrome extension. There's got to be that ease of data. If you have a stack of business cards on your desk, something's wrong. If you are saying, oh, well, I put them in my phone, but it's not in my CRM, something's wrong. If you're getting leads online or emails coming in and they're not going to your database, to your CRM, something is wrong. And if you're not able to, I'm not going to belabor this point again, but if you're not able to mass text, something is wrong. Please work smarter this year as well as harder, because we know it's a tough time. we don't want you burnt out. And especially because when this market does correct in a positive manner, you want to have these systems built up so you don't do what we all did in 2020, 21, and into 2022, which was stop prospecting. Our systems stopped working because we stopped working in them. LinkedIn, you can get up to 300 new connections a week. Make sure you actually have content on LinkedIn, though. I use a product called RoomView, but there's great ideas out there. Whether you just want to make the content yourself, have somebody help you with the content. Our office, we do an in-house graphic designer just because my agents don't necessarily love being in Canva, but man, Canva is a really cool tool. There are tools in there, even from your local, state, and national association of realtors, a lot of them. So check out and make sure that there's some Canva templates you like. But regardless, LinkedIn, 300 new connections a week. Then here's the big part. Once they've accepted you on LinkedIn, go back in and click on additional information. Find anything that's good in there that you want, and then use the celebrations feature. If you're not using the celebrations feature on LinkedIn, it's on your mobile app, it's on the desktop version. It is great because what does it do? It is a prompt, because we're going to talk about daily habits in a second. It is a prompt to reach out to people. It's saying, this person has a birthday today. This person has a job change. This person has a work anniversary. Wow, shouldn't I reach out to those folks? And then also, should I make sure that if I didn't have their birthday before, that now it's in my phone, then it's going to sync up to my calendar, my CRM. See how this is going to make your life easier over time? LinkedIn is the gateway to all that. It is absolutely huge. Another big thing to work smarter as well as harder. When you have a post, when you are in a meeting and you're at a networking event, you've got to have a call to action and lead capture. It's not just about, hey, do this thing, you should buy a house. Okay, why? Number one. But number two, if I'm telling people about a great program or about a great listing of mine, why do I not have not only a call to action, but lead capture? And what I mean by that is, do you have a landing page that they've got to fill out their information? What we use at my company, we have text codes. Every single listing has its own text code. I have a digital business card. I'm actually going to show you how that works in a little bit. I love those because not only do the people get the information they want, what do you get? Their cell phone number. And if you're using a product like Forewarn, Forewarn, or a similar thing that if you've got their cell phone number, you can find what their information is, man, that is great. The way I use it, it feeds right into my CRM. So it's call to action, lead capture, and then that lead capture goes into my CRM so I can start converting that lead, working smarter as well as harder. If you've got big links on stuff, I see sometimes people sending these huge links out. Number one, they don't work in Instagram unless you've got it set up that you've got link in bio. And that's a pain in the rear end sometimes to do. Guess what? Use Bitly. It's a marquee trick that she taught me. Bitly, bit.ly. Shorten the links, make it cute. They're case sensitive, so be careful of that. But I do that on my social media so that these links aren't that long. And then also I'm putting them in the comments beneath the post. People like pictures. They don't love graphics most of the time, but the algorithm absolutely hates links in the actual post itself. So you've got to go in and put it in the comments. And guess what? If it's a long thing in the comments, it looks bad. It also sometimes, if people are on Instagram, the comments or the description doesn't even allow a hyperlink. So you've got to have something short and sexy, so to speak. So Bitly is a great free tool to do that. If you put things in the actual post itself versus the comments, it does tend to lower your visibility in the algorithm. What I love even more, text message codes. These text message codes, they get the lead capture right to you. It's fed into your CRM normally. Landing pages can do the same trick. If you've got a great landing page feature through your CRM, like a squeeze page feature, something like that. I don't like QR codes, and here's why. Number one, I've seen a lot of people using QR codes on their social media. Well, what happens? We are a mobile society now. Over 50% of the browser clicks in most cases are on a mobile phone. Well, you can't scan the QR code when you're on your phone scrolling. The other thing is, unless that QR code goes to a landing page that has lead capture, that QR code's not giving you any information. It is just leading them to the information that they want, but it's not giving you their information. That's not lead capture. So that's the working smarter part. The other part of this is, we talked about grouping your contacts. What about ranking them? And this is something that I really have focused on with our agents the past couple months. Is I've said, let's do this. Let's call it red light, yellow light, green light, and prioritizing, who needs some follow-up, who probably they're going to stay in my database. I never take people out. There's another coach that's like, oh, if they don't respond in a certain amount, and take them out of your database. Who cares if they're in there and they stay in there? Maybe they're not interested now, but they will be later. Maybe you'll be the backup agent. Again, I'm cool being in the second place position because something else is keeping them using someone else for now. Doesn't mean they'll use that person forever. Doesn't mean they won't send me referrals. But I don't take people out of my database. But within the database, I like to be able to say, okay, these are my priorities today. If I've had a busy couple days, these are my first priorities. These are my green light folks. Well, what are the differences? Red light, they're not even open the initial search. If you're sending it through the MLS or you've got an app, like, we use a product called ZenList that gets people the private listing network. If you've got the private listing network in your area, like an RMLS, make sure that you've got the ability to get those inventories out to your clients the same way that you do the regular MLS. But if they're not even opening any of your initial search, they're not replying to texts or emails or calls, and I do all three. I ask them what they prefer, but I try all three. And if they're not filling out, I've got digital buyer and seller guides. My company does. They're really great. It's like, hey, not only is this, here's the process of being a buyer or seller, but what do you want? Tell me more. And if they're not even willing to fill out an online form that's super quick, that feeds into my CRM, by the way. So think about that. If you're using a CRM product that you can see that they're looking at it and they're not looking at it, that's a red light. Put them in the database, get them the monthly newsletter, but I wouldn't be sending them Cubs tickets, and I would not be planning on closing a deal with them anytime soon. Put them in the database, feed them once a month, but that's a red light. What's a yellow light? These are the people that I don't throw away. They've accepted the MLS search. Maybe they're not picking out properties to see. They're not communicating with the lender. Maybe they're picking out properties, but they're not doing the work with the lender. They don't have a proof of funds yet. I'm like, okay, I'm not eating off this deal probably because there isn't a deal that's looking likely. However, there's some activity there. Maybe I need to just say, hey, does my app not work good for you? Or do you like paper products? What do you like phone calls? Do you want me to remind you in 2 weeks that we can go out and look at property? Just checking in, because sometimes just the check-in itself, saying, hey, you know what? It's Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Normally by Wednesday, I've got my open houses scheduled, because I still do open houses, guys, because that's how you meet some of these not Mets. Open houses scheduled, and I'm texting everybody that's either yellow light or green light saying, hey, do you want to go out this week? And here are the times I've got free, or my team has got free. If they are a seller and they've accepted the market analysis, they're okay with the price, but they're not doing the work to get the property ready, yellow light. Yellow light. I need that property in show-ready condition so I can get my beautiful photos done and get that on the market for you. Green light's a no-brainer. What is it? They're selecting properties to tour and they show up. They get the property ready for market. They're accepting feedback from us. Their financing is in place. If they're a buyer, they're responsive. Well, the green lights, we're going to make sure they're serviced, right? And if we get too busy, we'll build a team around us. But the yellow lights deserve some love too. They just maybe need to be reminded of what's out there or what your schedule is. And, if they say, okay, well, you know what? Talk to me in 3 months. Or I ask, when should I check up on you? And they say a month, 2 months, put it in your calendar. Put it in your calendar, your CRM or your calendar, probably both, so that you know that you're going to follow up with them. And sometimes I'll even send them the invite to that little reminder. So that reminder is coming up. Maybe they want to tell me earlier, or they want to cancel that meeting or that call, but at least it's out there. So you've got to prioritize your time. So let's think about the 3 ways to prospect. And I want a mix of both of these daily. I know we're running a little short on time, but I'm going to speed through this here. Please stay with me. 3 ways to prospect. The philosophy of a lot of trainers and coaches out there, they seem to be skewing towards one or the other. I had to kind of create my own coaching programs. I said, this market especially, but every market, I believe you've got to have a mix of habit mets and mets in your prospecting every day. And so have mets, we know who they are, the past clients, the VIPs, the general sphere, the leads and referrals. We know what we're going to do with them. We've talked about that already. But what about the habit mets? If I'm only in my existing database, I'm probably not eating very well. And I'm also not building for the future. Because what's happening with that existing database? There are people moving away. I never take them out of my database. However, they are less likely to run into a friend on the street that needs a property near me because they don't live here anymore. I don't take them out of the database, but there are people that they move away and they lose touch. Some don't. I also have people that have sadly over the years passed away. That's just part of life. And so this database is slowly shrinking over time. And if my business is shrinking because of what? Interest rates, interest in doing this, and the inventory itself is down. I better get some habit mets in there. And especially as a newer agent, what if I don't have that many mets anyway? I believe all good agents, even a mega team, should be meeting habit mets every day. So I want you to do number 2 as well every day. FSBOs, expireds, open houses, farming, networking. When was the last time you went to a real networking event? Have you been hiding out on Zooms? Have you been staying away from farming or open houses? What do you need to get back into? Because a lot of us are so rusty at this because we've been so busy servicing those clients from the gold rush of 2020, 21, and 22 that we have not been doing this stuff. Find a need and fill a need. It's not going to be distressed properties right now. Take that out of your mind. It's going to be education for buyers, education for sellers. It's going to be market analysis. I love the RPR product for that. You know what? If these people aren't responsive, put them in your database anyway. Red light, yellow light, green light. Those are big. And the third way is the channel accounts. That is, I do that on Fridays. I kind of have theme days on my LinkedIn. I've got a thing that walks through your realtor theme days. But even that realtor theme days, it was too heavily focused on have mets. One of your abilities to build your business is channel accounts. What is that? They may have been people you've met already. Maybe they're people you haven't met. They're kind of a mix of both. These are relationships that I also call them aggregators. And what those are, maybe you're on an team at your office where somebody's buying leads or that you're part of a referral program and you're getting leads. You're meeting people, strangers that because of either a system, a program, or a business owner, somebody like that, your relationship is with the vendor or the channel account to get more habit mets and turn them into mets. And I've got a code system for my office I won't go into, but it's really like, it's got to be a contact in order to get a content going. And, you've got to meet them first. And then from there, that's building the relationships, which will eventually turn them truly into a contract and eventually a closing. And then that post-close relationship, which will build referrals and snowball. The worst thing I've ever seen for an agent to do is spend a bunch of money on a lead program and not follow up with the leads, but B, even worse than that, they follow up with the leads. They're transactional and they stop right after the closing. They just stop communicating. What a shame. You got to continue that relationship to get the referrals. So want to switch up the screens a little bit here. I knew this was going to be right around that hour mark. I'm like, wake up, we're not done. How do you get into a habit? I'm a huge habit person. On my Instagram this morning, I was kind of talking about a few of the things that I do in the morning. I believe that habits can save a tough business in a tough time. I mean, I got into business in 98. I was in college. I was putting myself through school. And guess what happened? 99 was the tech bust. My local economy got tanked really bad where I was. I moved to Chicago, knew nobody, had to start all over, started to do great, started my own company, literally started my own company on the September 4th of 2001. Well, what happened September 11th? That was our last balanced stagnant market, was when just kind of the world stopped without any incentive to go out and buy. That was a scary time for a lot of reasons in 2002 and 2003 before the great ramp up. Habit has saved me so many times. There's a book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. It is truly, I think it saved my life, not just my business. I'm so passionate about it. He has a comment that savors silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing. You don't have to be an exercise-based person, but that morning routine of getting up early, getting that part of your day going, kind of having a visualization and like, what do I want to do today? What do I want to be today? The affirmations. And then also really, beyond all that, getting into then your actual lead generation early in the day. If you can do that and start with your fellow agents at your office, get in the office. If you guys don't have an office space, mastermind in a coffee shop or something. But I really want you to think about who can you network with? Who's going to be your fellow superhero? Not a villain that's going to do it by themselves or a cowboy that's not even going to use the tools that are there. What can you do? And then share that, because the rest of the world also likes productive people. They like people that overcome challenges, overcoming adversity. That is a quality about folks. Share it. Maybe you'll get some fellow business owners that want to mastermind with you. My business planning sessions, I open them up to my friends. I've got a little kitchen cabinet of folks at my in my personal sphere that they run businesses, they run into challenges. But if you're not starting the day early and you're not getting this stuff done before life gets in the way, doing your database work, if you're running around doing your existing business and then you say, well, I'll get to prospecting later. The fires in your existing business and life will be there and burn all the way into the afternoon. You can darn well get the health and wealth stuff done in the morning, which is the miracle morning routine and your prospecting. So, all right, what other habits can we grow? Well, guess what? You can build a mastermind around something, 21 days to create a habit. I strongly believe in power hours. And what is that? That is when in person, maybe you guys are again at a coffee shop, you're at your house, maybe in a group, or you're at your office. Dear Lord, we go back in the office and are actually productive. You can even do it by Zoom if you're going to actually be present. A habit of actually focusing on lead generation. And again, it's not just have mets, because that's the way I used to teach it. It's have mets and habit mets every day. And we've got to track that. We're going to talk about tracking in a second. 50% deeper with our existing people. You can't just do what you've been doing. You've got to do more, and you've got to go 50% wider. Next concept, a CMA a day. What does a CMA a day do? Well, it keeps the brokenness away, as I joke in my office, but it truly means you are sending out at least one CMA a day, unsolicited. Maybe it's to a buyer, a market report. Maybe it's to a seller. That's what I strongly recommend right now. An unsolicited CMA a day, at least one. Both Mets and Habit Mets should be getting it. All your past clients should be getting it. Great for farming. Do one a day. You said you can't afford a farming campaign. You can afford a stamp a day, can't you? If not, talk to your broker. If you're on this webinar and you're from my office, I will buy you the stamps. One a day, at least one CMA a day. You got to engage and acknowledge your database. We know that. But what do we do? What types of material is out there? Well, I'm glad you asked. RPR, Realtors Property Resource. Your NAR dues pay for it. It is what I can point to and say, that's great. There are actually 2.5 million real estate agents in America. There's only 1.5 million realtors. So, this whole concept of why am I paying my dues? Guess what? There is advocacy, but there's also tools. And the best tool we have is this RPR, massive asset, Realtors Property Resource. I have the time to go into that a little bit with you guys at the end and just dive into it. And I'd love to do a class about it. I am a certified trainer for RPR. But basically, I think the biggest thing this all comes to a head and goes into, we talked about habit, is I can sit there and teach you this. You can sit there and say you're going to do it, and you go back to your desk, and it's like any other workshop, training program. I got a couple of those in my desk drawers too. It's like, oh, that was a great workbook or great class, a workshop I went to. And that, to-do list and the idea and the enthusiasm goes in the drawer and you're done. What a waste. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. And I mean that in every area of your life. This is all just noise and hype unless you actually put it to use. And I have agents right that I coach today saying, yes, I'm in my CRM, I'm doing this and that. Okay, well, how many of these did you send out? How many people are using your app? How many CMAs did you send out? What neighborhood are you farming? And you can just see the fear, because it's like, it's not really happening. It's not really happening. Your CRM, any good CRM, can track what you are doing. And I got to tell you, the CRM that I use, I'm actually now looking, going, okay, my agents, if they're not logging in, where are they getting their stuff? You know, because I'm paying for their CRM. Do they have a different CRM? No, they don't. They're not doing it. How can you productively build your business without a CRM? You also be tracking your health and wellness, your time. I've got some really cool tools for that are all free. I use a tool called the Life Cycle app, because where the heck are we? Where is the inefficiencies in our business so we can work smarter and harder? I use the Life Cycle app. It tracks when I'm in the office. It tracks how long I'm at home. It tracks what did I spend a lot of time in the grocery store. It tracks how long I'm in my car. It tracks if I'm at a location for 30 minutes, aka like on a showing or something, I can sit there and make my own custom categories and say, that was a buyer showing, that was a seller showing, that was an inspection. If I'm getting busy, could I leverage some of that time by building a team or using an assistant? Where's the prospecting? Where's that time? That's going to be something the Life Cycle app will help you track. You know, are you having too much fun, you know, playing at the playground, or, you know, going out to a restaurant too much? That Life Cycle app can track where you're at. I'm fascinated by it. Sleep Cycle app, it's a companion app. If you are really like me, you know, hit a wall with this downward market and needed to get back on track health-wise, it's very hard to be a productive agent if your health and mind are not in the right place. That's why I teach a lot of classes on mindset. I go to a lot of classes on mindset. I love the Sleep Cycle app. You've got Apple Fitness, Peloton. They're a great way to track your steps in your workouts. They're also great for accountability. You know, hey, show me what you did. I love the Apple Fitness app. I actually share it with my agents, and we can track each other. I've even got a little something called the Hydrate app. There's these water bottles. You may have seen this glow during the presentation for a second. It tracks how much water you drink. I give these out to clients. I think these are the coolest thing ever. Smart water bottles. They're conversation pieces, but if your health and wellness isn't right, it's really hard to get your wealth right. And it can't just be about the money in this market. If we're going to take some of our time back and be smarter about it, you know, does that include health and wellness? It absolutely does. Doesn't mean you have to be, you know, the most fit person or running marathons or whatever does not interest you. Just get back into some healthy routines in your life and put some peace and back in before you're looking for the prosperity. So I do want to have a little show and tell on RPR quickly, but I said that I wanted to connect with you guys. You can text Libert, L-I-B as in boy, E-R-T, that's my last name. Text Libert to the number 85377. That will give you my digital business card. It will give you links to my social media. And then also, I'm going to track everybody that did that. And I'm going to be able to send you some additional resources in a little blog format. I've got some links to some other trainings that I think will be helpful for you. But yeah, text Libert, L-I-B-E-R-T, to the number 85377. Would love to connect with you there. And then Elizabeth, if I've got a couple minutes, I just want to pop very quickly into RPR for everybody. You will love it. Let me get into that screen here for a second. So hopefully this looks familiar to you. It may not. This is Realtors Property Resource. We all have access to this through NAR. It's literally narrpr.com/home. You can create in about 5 minutes your profile. I've got my picture, just my office logo, nothing too fancy. But the big pieces of this are research. It has some incredible stuff, including residential market trends. You know, we talked about how to go in and create some content. If you don't like to be on video, you can do a screen record. I've got a product for that I can talk to you guys about. If you text me, I'll send it to you. But it literally even has AI built right in. You can create a script. We in a class that I did for my office, a bunch of us sat together and I said, okay, let's all say we're in 60657. Will it say the same script? The script was different for each person, but the stats in these are just fascinating. new listings, average active listings, is the market going up or down? The number of sold listings, look at the inventory continuing to go down. This would be great to be saying to potential sellers, maybe to people that tried to sell in 2021 and say, hey, that what? The inventory is down by another half month. Maybe it's time to try again. The prices are up. So what is going on in your neighborhood? You can track it by neighborhood. And so that is under the research button that is residential market trends. And I strongly urge you, if you are not a wordsmith, to click on create script, and it has a bunch of different scripts for you. The other things that I love, the reports for schools, the reports for the area reports. So my favorite ones are a neighborhood report. If you don't know a lot about a neighborhood and you're with a buyer, it's a great thing to be doing to send out. It's also great for your open houses, whether you know the neighborhood or not. Market activity report, that's the bigger, more meaty report, has a lot of comps in it, does have a little bit of neighborhood information. If you are working with a seller, you can also do a property report or a seller report. School report. A lot of us in big cities, even in small towns, it's kind of hard to find out the school information as far as testing scores and things like that. School reports, another great thing, whether you're a listing agent, a buyer's agent, or you just want to share more information, whether you do a video, a screen recording, or you just offer it as an item of value. Actually, right now, if you go on teamlibert.com, which is my website, I think that's the link when you text my digital business card. That's one of the links you'll get. Right at the top, I have, actually, I'll just show it to you guys real quick. I have some stats on that area that I've built out. And what those stats are is it's literally just Nick's area research on 60657. And you can do a video, you can do what I did, which is just literally links to the neighborhood report, market activity report, and the elementary school or elementary schools there. That could have been a video series. I just chose to make it a quick link. So if you like to be on camera, what huge assets for you. If you don't like to be on camera, do it as links. You can do it as a Google Drive folder, all different ways to do it. But RPR has such massive knowledge for you. Are you looking to get into commercial a little bit? Well, one of the best ways to do that, go into RPR and toggle this and click on commercial. There are some really valuable things on the commercial side. Trade area report. Have you ever tried to tell people what the traffic counts are or what's going on in the area with the businesses? Guess what? You need to be doing rentals right now. Some of the rentals are going to be businesses changing out of these big spaces and going what? Downsizing into smaller spaces. Maybe there's a new business out there. We talked about you're going to network with business owners and you're going to build those channel accounts. What a great way to feed that relationship. Say, hey, I just want to tell you what's going on in the neighborhood. If you're thinking of downsizing or upsizing, a lot of people right now on the commercial side are too. So don't turn down rentals. Don't turn down any relationship at this point, because trust me, you have RPR as an asset. You have all these other tools that are out there. If you're struggling with finances right now, there are basically almost free CRMs. A CRM can even be right now, honestly, just get everybody in your phone. So if you're really struggling, get everybody into your phone. First name, last name, mobile number, email address. Again, I'm going to say it: first name, last name, mobile number. Make sure to press the mobile number, email address, and then you're going to go into hopefully their address and birthday once you start doing a little bit more due diligence. So I am more than happy to stay on here a little bit and do a little bit of Q&A. I know we are way over on time, but I'm just really passionate about helping you guys through this market and to thrive as the market comes back. So Elizabeth, thank you very much for having me here today. I really appreciate it. So she actually had to go take another call. I ran out of time with her. So guys, I am actually now the host again. Yes, Bucka, I can share that again. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat. So on social media, I've got a lot of content on YouTube, but also Instagram, etc. And then you're going to text me. You're going to text LIBERT to 85377. Again, that's LIBERT to the number 85377. And really appreciate you guys being here. Looking forward to connecting with you on social media. Definitely make sure to text me, because that code is going to come to me, and then I'm going to be able to send you guys some further follow-up. Appreciate you very much for being here. Have a great day, everybody.